we would request you to kindly come inside and get settled. Thank you. Namaskar, a very, very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Jagannath, Suprabhat. I am Anchor Shobna Mishra, and on behalf of Dharitri and Odisha Post, a warm welcome to our Honorable Chief Guest, Chief Speakers, all the delegates, family of Dharitri and Odisha Post, to the third edition of Business Eminence Awards. Could we have a round of applause in the beginning? Thank you very much. Today we are gathered to acknowledge and celebrate the hard work and toil that goes unseen behind every single enterprise. Dharitri and Odisha Post have always strived to encourage entrepreneurs and highlight their achievements. Dharitri is known as one of the most credible and trustworthy newspapers of Odisha, with its unapologetic pro-people stance. It has grown in strength and has truly come to represent the voice of the people of Odisha. Odisha Post, the only homegrown English daily of the state, has gained respect and popularity with its fiercely impartial, in-depth coverage of Odisha. Our editor, Shri Tathagat Satpathy, has always believed that a newspaper belongs to every reader who subscribes to it and hence has a social responsibility to deliver the truth, no matter the consequences. At the same time, we at Dharitri and Odisha Post believe in showcasing success and highlighting positive, inspiring stories. Hence, the Business Eminence Awards. I'm pleased to welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, respected Shri Pratap Kesari Deb, Honorable Minister, Industry, Energy and Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises, Government of Odisha, our Honorable Chief Speaker, respected Shri Subrakant Panda, Managing Director, Indian Metal and Ferroalloys Limited, IMFA, and President of the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, that is FICCI or FICCI. We would welcome you gentlemen on the stage. I welcome all the guests present here today, our eminent awardees, our generous sponsors, partners, associates, team members, and media fraternity for their support, without which this gala event would not have been made possible. Thank you very much. Now, you see our honorable editor, Shri Tathagat Satpathy, is kindly welcoming and felicitating our honorable chief guest and chief speaker on the dais. A warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for being with us on the stage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let us start this beautiful day with the auspicious lamplighting ceremony. Along with our honorable chief guest, chief speaker, and our editor, I would invite Madam Adhyasa Satpathy, CEO Dharitri and Odisha Post, to join us on the stage, please. Thank you very much, madam and gentlemen. Can we please play the mother's music to seek the blessings of Mother God, please? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please have your seats. We would pray to God to keep us all happy, healthy, and prosperous throughout our lives. Thank you. Now it's time for the welcome address. To deliver the address, I would invite the editor, Dharitri and Odisha Post, to the podium. Before that, I would like to read out a brief about Shri Satpathy. Shri Tathagat Satpathy, the editor of Dharitri Odia Delhi and Odisha Post English Delhi. He is a fourth-time member of parliament from his beloved constituency Dhenkanal. He is known for his fearless vocalization of views on important matters of policy and polity. His strong editorials have many a times pointed out social injustice and helped bring justice to the affected. After a long and successful stint in politics, while he was at the height of popularity, Shri Satpathy announced he was distancing himself from politics to focus on journalism. He feels that the pen indeed is the tool to bring social change and justice. He's passionate about three things mostly, other than, of course, his family, policy, environmental issues, and guess what? Coffee. Now I would invite editor Dharitri and Odisha Post, Shri Tathagat Satpathy, to offer the welcome address for the third edition of Business Eminence Awards.
नमस्कार, प्रणाम, जोहार। आम सहित आज जोग देइछंती आमर मुख्य अतिथि भाव में मान्यवर मंत्री शिल्प एनर्जी एमएसएमई श्री प्रताप केसरी देव महोदय तांकु मु स्वागत करुछि। आज आम समस्त सहित अछंती प्रथमे मु कहबी फिक्कीर प्रथम ओडिया चेयरमैन आम कि सी गोटे विराट बड़ गौरव आनी देइछंती श्री सुब्रकांत पंडा महोदय एवं तांकर परिचय फिक्की ठारू बड़ होउची ही हेड्स इम्फा ही इज द एमडी ऑफ इंडियन मेटल्स एंड फेरो अलॉयज जोटा कि ओडिशा रो गोटे प्राइड। आज आपण मानू समस्त को मु धन्यवाद दूची आसिकी आम संगे किसी समय बितेवा को आपण मैंने इच्छा प्रकाश करी एटिके आसी। आई वेलकम ऑल दी अवार्डीज जो माने कि निज निज क्षेत्र रे किए क्षुद्र शिल्प हो किए ट्रेडिंग रे होंतु कि अन्य व्यवसाय रे होंतु जो माने ओडिशा रे कार्य करूछंती से माने केउ प्रकार रो कष्ट जहाँ कि सामाजिक मु राजनैतिक कहूनी कारण एठी जने बहुत बड़ मंत्री अच्छंती से राजनैतिक कहि परिबिनी किंतु जो सामाजिक समस्या आमर रहुची सब बेले आमर गोटे एग्रेरियन सोसाइटी रु आमे ट्रांसफॉर्म करूचे इंडस्ट्रियल और बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट को से ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन टा जो गत 20-25 वर्ष 30 वर्ष है चली से आपण मानकर अवदान आपण मानकर सहयोग एवं आपण मानकर कार्य निश्चित भाव रे ए राज्य को गोटे अग्रणी राज्य भाव रे आसंता किछि वर्ष भितर निश्चित भाव रे रखिबो ए विषय रे आमे जो माने धरित्री एवं ओडिशा पोस्ट रे अछु हमर कोनोसी संदेह नै। ए तृतीय वर्ष बिजनेस एमिनेंस अवार्ड रो इट हैज बीन अ ग्रेट जर्नी फॉर अस आल्सो कारण आमे प्रत्येक वर्ष जतो बेले खोजुचु किछि समस्यार भी सम्मुखीन होउचु कारण बेले बेले कष्ट होउची भी लोक पाइबारे जो माने कि योग्य कारण एमती बहुत लोक अछंती किंतु जो माने कि निज गोडे छिड़ा ही निज शक्ति रे बढ़ी छंती सेमिति किछि लोक पाइबा भी बेले बेले समस्या होउची किंतु आमे आपण मानकू से डायमंड्स मान जेमती कोयला खणी भितरु हीरा मिले सेमती विराट बड़ कोयला खणी भितरे मो घरटा आज्ञा तालचेर पाखे तो से मु कोयला खणीर उदाहरण देली। सो कोयला खणी भितरु हीरा खोजला भली आमे सेई भली भाव रे कोयला खणी भितरु आपण मानकू खोजी खोजी करी बाहर करूचु। आपण मानकर लेखा जोटा धरित्री एवं ओडिशा पोस्ट भी बाहरी आपण माने भी देखिथिबे आपण मानकर मनर कथा मु सब गुडी को पढुची पढ़िबार एकमात्र कारण होउची जे आमे भी आपण मानकू आउरी भलो भाव रे बुझिबा को चाहूचु आमे भी जानिबा को चाहूचु आपण माने जो माने ओडिसा रो एंटरप्रेन्योर को प्रकार रो कष्ट सोउछंती को प्रकार रो समस्या रो सम्मुखीन होउछंती हाउ यू फेस इट एंड हाउ यू प्लान टू ओवरकम इट दैट्स एन ऑनगोइंग प्रोसेस एमती नुह जे थरटे आमे करदेलु करदेला परे गाड़ी चलला ये सेमिति नुह गाड़ी को जेमती सब बेले तेल पकेवा को पड़े आजिकल तो तेल पकेबेनी एबे कोन कहउछंती रिचार्ज करूछंती फोन रिचार्ज कला बलिया गाड़ी रिचार्ज करिवे सो से भाव रे आपणकर एटा गोटे ऑनगोइंग कष्ट एवं से ऑनगोइंग कष्ट रे जेमती गुंडुची मूसा सेतु बंधरे बाली पकईला सेमती आमे भी चाहूँ जे आपणकर सेतु बंधरे आमे भी किछि बाली पकेबू जहाँ द्वारा कि द पाथ बिकम्स अ लिटिल इजियर टू मेक द पाथ इजियर इट इज वन स्मॉल स्टेप and recognition always inspires recognition always gives happiness finally प्रताप बाबू संगे सुब्रकांत बाबू संगे जो बस कथा होलु व्हाट इज द सोल एम फॉर विच ऑल ऑफ अस वर्क केवल पैसा नुहे केवल ये जो शर्ट पैंट पिंधिबा कि बड़ घरे रहिबा कि बड़ गाड़ी चढ़िबा सेटा नुहे बियॉन्ड ऑल दिस बियॉन्ड ऑल द मटेरियलिस्टिक थिंग मन भितरे जो शांति जो सुखटा आमे समस्ते खोजी थाउ सेटा जेतबेले मिले सेतबेले मनुष्यटा कंप्लीट हुए बोली लगे एवं इन दैट प्रोसेस बिजनेस एमिनेंस अवार्ड्स इज वन स्मॉल स्टेप वेयर वी ट्राई टू गिव रिकग्निशन to people who have emerged in Odisha, small, big, medium, micro, at all levels. We try to recognize them, we try to bring forth their cases into public view. Society रे समाज रे आमे जानिचु जे जेतबेले सक्सेस हुए आमे समस्ते सेलिब्रेट करू समस्ते ताली मारू समस्ते खुशी हो किंतु से सक्सेस रे पहुंचवा पाई से लोकटी केते कष्ट करिछि से कथाटी की आमे क्वचित रेकग्नाइज करूँ आम साधारणतः रेकग्नाइज करूना आम भाव सी करदेला आम करें कि आम भी करदे बट दि लेबर दि हार्ड वर्क दि पेन द टॉयल and the sadness and the happiness that goes into building an entity, a body, that is what is to be recognized, and Dharitri and Odisha Post have always tried to recognize that. Industries in our state have had a checkered history. Evolving from a predominantly agriculture-based society, Odisha can now be labeled as a modern industrial and mining-dependent, please underline, dependent economy. The role of small, medium and micro enterprises in the growth story is of vital importance. Our chief guest, the young and capable minister, Shri Pratap Kesari Dev, is endowed with great political understanding and the ability required to steer his departments of MSME, energy and industry to their full potential in transforming the state's economy and make it future ready. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate Shri Subrakant Panda to have become the first Oriya to receive the honor of occupying the top spot at FICCI. His contribution to create a healthy business environment in the state needs special mention. I am sure his dynamic leadership and vision will steer FICCI in the correct direction at this very crucial juncture where the Indian economy is facing multitudes of challenges. So, Subrakant Babu, jo samayre FICCI ro head ହେଇଛନ୍ତି ସେ ସମୟରେ ସମଗ୍ର ଦେଶ ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ ବଡ଼ ଚ୍ୟାଲେଞ୍ଜ ବି ଫେସ୍ କରୁଛି so he will have on his young shoulders the burden of steering FICCI at this critical juncture. Dharitri and Odisha Post wish to confer on Sri Subrakant Panda the congratulatory Business Eminence Award for 2023. I request our chief guest, Honorable Shri Pratap Kesari Dev, to please join me in conferring this award to Shri Subrakant Panda.
Subrakant Panda, Managing Director, IMPA, President, FICCI. देशर शिल्प और वाणिज्य विकास रे रहिछि सुब्रकांत पंडांकर अभूतपूर्व योगदान तांकर अभिज्ञता और अनुभूति देशर शिल्प विकास को देछि एक नुआ रूपरेख देशर प्रमुख शिल्प संस्था संघ फिकिर सभापति भली गुरु दायित्व नेबारे से हेउछंती प्रथम ओडिया शिल्पपति फिकिर सभापति पदवी सह इन्फार परिचालना निर्देशक भावरे दायित्व तुलाई आसुछंती सुब्रकांत पंडा जोठारे 6500 रु अधिक लोकंक पई सृष्टि करिसेंती नियुक्तिर सुजोग
Odisha is now recognized as one of the most attractive states for investors, given an enabling environment and supportive policies. While it was always blessed with immense natural resources, the focus on value addition has brought about a sea change in terms of the growth prospects for industries. That apart, what I think is also very good is the focus on diversification. That is to bring about investments in other sectors and not just be reliant on the minerals and metal sectors where Odisha of course has a natural advantage.
Shri Subrakant Panda, congratulations once again on being awarded with Business Eminence Awards. Now, let me mention, we are very honored to have you as our chief speaker today here on the dais. Now, we are looking forward to hearing your insights on the growth perspectives of Odisha. May I invite our honorable chief speaker, Shri Subrakant Panda, to the podium to hear his address, please.
Pratap Kesari Dev, Honorable Minister for Industry, Energy and MSME, Shri Tathagat Satpathy, Editor, Dharitri and Odisha Post, Shrimati Adyasha Satpathy, CEO, Dharitri and Odisha Post, dignitaries, awardees, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I would like to commend Shri Satpathy for taking the initiative to recognize entrepreneurs who have contributed to Odisha's industrial journey and for inviting me today to be part of this function. As he mentioned in his speech, I think it is very important in every entrepreneur's journey to be recognized, because that is what gives that boost, that is what gives that support when you see some of the dark times which invariably come across as an entrepreneur. And more importantly, by highlighting success, we get an opportunity to inspire others to follow in your footsteps. So at the outset, my congratulations to all of the awardees today. So the Business Eminence Awards are a reflection of how Odisha has transformed into a leading investment destination on the basis of reforms as well as measures to improve the ease of doing business. And under the leadership of Shri Naveen Patnaik, Honorable Chief Minister, the state has grown by leaps and bounds in the last 2 decades. And I believe, as you just saw in the intro, that Odisha always had the natural resources and had an edge in this regard. But the policy of value addition is what has really proven to be the turning point. And the focus now, of course, is on downstream products, new age technologies, and diversification into other sectors. So what I would like to do today is to talk a little bit about the opportunities, what Odisha has achieved, and the opportunities that India presents today, and how Odisha and Odia entrepreneurs can and should take advantage of that to the fullest. So, Odisha is where it is today, I believe, because of a focused approach. And again, as you heard Tathagat Babu mention, that that transition from being a largely agrarian economy to being a leading industrial state takes some doing, takes a lot of focus, takes a lot of resolve. And that is what we are seeing today. Through Odisha being ranked first in the investment implementation rate and consistently amongst the top 3 investment destinations in Odisha. And this is something which would not have been possible, if we talked about it maybe a decade or 2 decades ago, this would not have been, anybody's expectations of where we would be at this point in time. So the 3rd edition of the Make in Odisha Conclave, where FICCI was the national industry partner, was a runaway success with more than 10 lakh crores of investment commitments. And while those who are skeptical will say that how much of that will actually translate into investments on the ground, but I think previous editions have shown that it may not be a 100% success rate for sure, but enough investment commitments translate into actual projects being grounded to make a big difference to Odisha's industrial journey. So we have all this has been possible by attracting large investors to the state. But as the saying goes, that every boat rises with the tide. And I think it is in that context that the manufacturing ecosystem has also got a boost from the government's investment-friendly policies, as well as the huge influx of investments cutting across various sectors. And I believe the Industrial Policy Resolution 2022, which was announced last December at the conclave, is a pivotal moment where, with the identification of priority and thrust sectors in different areas, it will certainly, and along with incentives to attract investments, it will certainly be a significant journey. Unquestionably, Odisha has been very metals and mining focused, but with a nearly 6 times increase in the royalty revenues, I believe Odisha has laid the base for a significant investment in infrastructure, which in itself is not just a stimulus measure, but when it is done, it also provides world-class infrastructure, which makes doing business much easier in the state. The outlay in this regard for infrastructure, I believe, has been increased to a little more than 50,000 crores in this budget. And in an interaction with the Chief Secretary yesterday, when the Secretary General of FICCI and I had called in on him, there was a lot of positivity about a further increase in investment infrastructure to come in coming years, which will be very significant. The statistics are very impressive as far as Odisha is concerned. The average annual growth rate of the industrial sector in the last 9 years is 5.36% as compared to 3.77% at the national level. Manufacturing sector has contributed significantly with a little more than 48%, while in FY21, while mining sector is next with 24.6%. So that is the overwhelming dependence as of now on the metals and mining sector. But I believe that will change. And Odisha's industries continue to increase the contribution to the state's gross value added with a 36.26% share as compared to 26% at the national level. If I were to talk a little bit about the opportunities that India presents today, much has been said about India being a rare, bright spot. But what we have to clearly look at is, again, just like Odisha is an agrarian economy, India too, at the moment, agriculture contributes about 17 to 18% of GDP, but 45% of jobs. So that is simply not tenable. And while the services sector will take up will certainly provide a lot of jobs, it is very important for manufacturing sector to step up. And manufacturing too, over the last 20 odd years, if not more, has been stuck in the 15 to 16% of GDP range. And that is why there is a lot of effort on, through the likes of PLI schemes, etc., to increase the share of manufacturing to 25% of GDP. So in this context, the Government of India's PLI schemes, the production-linked incentive schemes for 14 sectors, with an outlay of about nearly 2 lakh crore rupees, 2 trillion rupees, is a very important initiative. And as I mentioned early on, I think it is a tremendous opportunity for the manufacturing ecosystem in the country, which Odisha and Odia entrepreneurs, all of you present here and outside, I believe must capitalize on to the fullest. And therefore, I truly welcome the state government, which has come up with the special incentive package for attracting investments in new age and critical emerging technologies like electric vehicles, green energy equipment, sustainable energy like green hydrogen. Again, in the union budget for this year, very large outlays for green hydrogen. Some of those projects are slated to come to Odisha. And as I said, I think all of these present huge opportunities. I truly believe that Odisha can be the gateway to ASEAN nations given our actual physical proximity. And we have the potential to be a $1 trillion state economy, as in a GSDP. And in this context, having set an export target of 3.5 lakh crores by 26-27, the Odisha export policy is a proactive initiative to catapult the state into the list of top 5 exporters. So as I keep repeating, I think all of these are opportunities which I think we must seize. We are all lucky to be living in the India of today, in the Odisha of today, which as Pratap Babu, again, we had met him yesterday also, and he mentioned that Odisha has truly transformed, that from diffidence to confidence is the journey of the last 2 decades, which I think bodes very well for all of us. To talk a little bit about startups, there's a very vibrant startup ecosystem in the country with more than 80,000 registered startups and over 100 unicorns, which is $1 billion in market cap. And even though globally there is turmoil at the moment, I believe startups are the way to go, because the innovative, disruptive ideas which come out of youngsters are something that will change many a sector in this country. And Odisha too has been very proactive in promoting startups through initiatives like the OHub, which is a centralized incubator. I believe more than 1,500 registered startups in the country, but clearly in the state. But clearly, this is an area where I think we would do well to focus. And again, I think there is much that can be achieved by through proactive policies for startups, which the state is looking at very in a focused manner. I want to talk about skill development a little bit. Clearly, India has a very significant demographic advantage with a very young population. I was reading a statistic the other day that the balance between working age population and non-working age population, that tipping point will come in 2048. So we still have a sustained period of growth where of young population being there, which is both an opportunity in that we can be really the manufacturing backyard for the world, but it is of course a challenge to train them properly, to skill them properly, and to ensure that there are opportunities for them to be absorbed into the workforce. Having said that, I would of course urge everyone out there to really not be, to look to be as much of a job creator as a job seeker. So it's important to, as I said, impart appropriate skills for employability. And in this context, I think there must be a mixture of the traditional, as in our traditional skills, for example, the one district, one product approach, as with the modern skills, with Internet of Things, with artificial intelligence, machine learning. It's important for us to straddle that entire spectrum. In this context, I think it would be fair to say that the skilling ecosystem in the state has been recognized as a path breaker, and today, skilled in Odisha is a tag which is looked at with great pride and great expectation, and that also I think is one of the transformative journeys that we have seen. Before I end, I wanted to talk a little bit about FICCI's initiatives. We are not just, as I mentioned. That especially for this year, Odisha will be front and center in FICCI's initiatives, although we obviously have a national agenda. And as far as our work in the state is concerned, it is not just as a national industry partner for the Make in Odisha series, but we are also involved with the Millets Mission, which is a great which is a great thing for us to be to have that opportunity to work with the state in promoting millets, and we are also working with the government for the Odisha Skills Conclave, which is set to take place next month. And to talk a little bit about my priorities during this year as president, one of the focus areas is SMEs. We have initiated I have initiated a project which to reach out to SMEs throughout the country and assess their awareness of and preparedness for digitalization and sustainability. Digitalization is very important from an achieving efficiency perspective as well as reducing compliance burden. These are issues which plague all of us, but especially burdensome for SMEs. And sustainability, of course, is important because when we talk about sustainability targets, it's not just the large companies, but the entire manufacturing ecosystem, the entire industrial ecosystem which needs to be sustainable. So the idea from a FICCI perspective is not just to find out where we are, but then based on the level of awareness and preparedness to work on interventions where we can work with the central and state governments to help address these gaps. That apart, startups are a great focus for us, where we are looking to give opportunities for startup members to co-mingle with our brick and mortar members, and that cross-pollination gives a lot of opportunities to both sides. We have a fairly vibrant state council, but I am also available to all of you to work with the government on priority sectors, on areas where as an apex business chamber established in 1927, we can bring our vast experience and rich legacy to bear for the progress of the state. Before I end, I wanted to talk about what was once a startup, which is IMFA, which was founded by my parents in 1961. So we are a proud ODI company with a presence of more than 6 decades in this state, employ more than 6,500 people, most of them local, and none of this required any policies of the state government to do. It was a vision of my parents that we have to live in harmony with the surrounding community to be able to be successful. And today, we've seen many ups and downs. But I would like to thank each and everyone who has been associated with us and all the support that we have received from the government to get to where we are today as one of the largest foreign exchange earners from the state, and now looking to expand our capacity further. The idea of overcoming all of this and you are all at different points in your journey at different levels, but I wish you much success and never give up hope.
Thank you very much, sir, for your warm address, the keynote address, and for sharing your